What, is the thumbnail too literal? Okay, I'm just kidding. Oh, shit. There we go. Yes, I am holding Tetsaiga in my hands. I do have the power. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. Hello, Ike Studios. Hello. Hello there, General Kenobi. How are we all? It's been a pretty bit of a slow week. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. So yeah, a few, things to talk about, and then we'll get to some questions this time around. Yes, Inuyasha Dinosaur 1, we will get to this little baby which you're gonna like. Hi, Bryce. Good to see you. So yeah, what's been happening this week? Really, this week has been a little slow. Mostly because I've been working on cosplays. I've been working on, TikTok. You got noticed, or did I get noticed? I don't know yet. Yes, I am back. Jack is back. Not Black. Jack Black. I was gonna make a joke there. But anyway. So yeah, it's been pretty slow this week. We've been just working on cosplays. We've been doing commissions and so on. So, been occupying my time a little bit. So a few things. First of all, some really good news. This weekend, I will be attending Anime Shogatsu. This will be at the Japanese Canadian Cultural Center in Toronto. You guys are more than welcome to come by and say hi. I will be there in my brand new cosplay, which is, if you guys have seen me on, TikTok, on Twitter and everything, I am doing, as my name would say, Jack from Legend. You know a movie is so addictive that you start cosplaying characters from it. It's funny because I've always remembered the Robot Chicken episode where, they have the dad voiced by Seth MacFarlane, and he, is watching Inuyasha for the first time, and the first thing he says is, "What the fuck is this?" And then he starts getting so addicted to it that he buys the DVDs, that he ends up cosplaying and doing all this shit. I think that's initially anybody who gets addicted to an anime. I remember watching that, and I was laughing so hard, because I'm like, that's me! That was me when I watched the show! So, yeah. So, I will be at Anime Shogatsu, and I will be cosplaying Jack from Legend. Basically, I will be essentially what I'm calling Scientologist Link, essentially, if you can put it that way. So yeah, I will be at Anime Shogatsu this weekend. So if you guys want to go check it out, link down below to the con's website. You guys can order tickets there, and you guys can come see me there. It'll be freaking awesome. I'll be doing cosplays and shit. Second con I am officially coming to this year. Of course, a tradition for me that has been for over a decade, Anime North 2020. Again, link down below if you guys want to get tickets, if you guys want to come meet me. It is at the Toronto Congress Center, right by the airport, right in Toronto. It's kind of in between Toronto and Mississauga, honestly, but it's right by the airport, and it's at the Congress Center. I'm going to be there. There's a couple anime voice actors who are going to be there. It's a big convention. Like, this is probably, I think it's Canada's largest anime convention, and the way I describe it is Woodstock, but replace all the hippies with anime people. That's essentially how I can describe it. It's great. I've been going for about a decade. I don't know if this is my 11th or 12th year going now, but I'm going to be there, essentially, and if you guys want to come meet me there, I will be there. Again, I am trying to work out possibly coming to G-Fest. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to come to G-Fest, but I am going to make it my absolute best to come, because I really want to go. And then I also will be coming to probably to March Comic-Con at the Toronto Convention Center in downtown. So I'll be down there as long as a few other people's. I think one of the voice actors for Robot Chicken's going to be there, I believe. So you can go check him out there. I think there's going to have a few more announcements down the line. So that's what's been happening convention-wise. And so aside from that, if you guys have seen on my channel, I posted a few videos this week. Obviously, I did that Star Trek thing with Gundam. I did a live stream. I think it was like, I can't remember what day I did that live stream, but I am starting, if you guys actually really want to see, we're doing a brand new show, which is going to be called Inuyasha Vlogs. They're essentially an equivalent to Doug Walker's Last Airbender Vlogs, and they are going to solely focus on reviewing the entire Inuyasha series, and they're going to be released probably once a week. Now, what's cool about them is that they're actually going to be first exclusive to Patreon. Now, if you guys want to support the channel, help finance our future projects, especially the big ones, again, link down below to our Patreon. $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. But your help and your support is going to go towards bigger projects, and one being a potential Inuyasha fan film. So in doing so, I'm going to be posting vlogs on a set of episodes there. So if you guys want to go check out the introduction video, go check it out on the channel. But it's basically going to be me talking about the show in a very vlog style. We also put out a review for Jumanji 3, the next level. I know people just call it Jumanji 2, but no, it's Jumanji 3. Get your continuity right, guys. So we had GT's Reborn Sean go to see it, and he was kind enough to put it on our channel, so go check that out, and also go subscribe to GT's Reborn. Really great guy to talk to. Speaking of subscribers, we hit 6,000 subs. Guys, thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd get this far, because I thought, okay, 3,000's fine. It's a small audience, but 6,000. If we can get to 10,000 by this year, that would be fantastic, to get 10,000 subscribers and work our way up, because I'm thinking at some point I'm also considering getting sponsors, like getting, you know, like certain sponsors, which is a lot of YouTubers are doing that. I don't know if I'm qualified yet, but I'd have to look into that. I know D-Man1954 is working on that as well. So, yeah, we got 6,000. Thank you all so much. Like, we really appreciate everybody who subscribes, old and new. Are fantastic. So a big thank you to that. So we're gonna try to get more out there for you guys. Some other news. Of course, we got a couple of King Kong reviews in the can filmed. I am currently editing them as we speak, and that's happening. So also at Anime SHOGASTU, I will probably be vlogging it. I'll probably be doing something for that, so you guys can go. That'll be coming out down the line. So, aside from that, time to talk about shoutouts, because there's a few people we want to give shoutouts to. Some because they're getting back into the game a little bit, and they're also going to be, essentially, they're either not doing well, but we want to help them out as much as we can. So the first one we want to obviously shout out, we shouted it out to them last week, was STARLYNNFAY. She is a wonderful new talent. She is on Twitter. She's on TikTok. She's starting up on YouTube. All her links will be in the description down below. Guys, go follow her content. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody because it's not all family friendly, but I would recommend going to check her content out. We've been helping out, supporting her, reaching out to her, and she's been very nice. Very, very nice lady. So we're hoping to help her down the line. So guys, go check out STARLYNNFAY. Great talent on TikTok, great talent on Twitter, great talent on... she's getting started on YouTube, so we want to help her out there. Second shout out we want to give to is obviously BATTYALANA. She's starting to get back into it a little bit again in terms of cosplay, so go check out her Instagram. She is, for those who don't know, BATTYALANA has played Android 18 in the last 2 episodes of the BigJackFilms review. She was in the Valentine's Day special, and she was also in our Dragon Ball Evolution 100th episode. Guys, go check out her Instagram. Again, wonderful talent. Please go follow her on Instagram. She's really great, and tell them I sent you. So there's that. Third shout out we want to give to is LUNACHIBUNNIE. Recently, she's actually went on vacation for a little bit, but now she's come back, and now she's wanting to get back into cosplay, so which is fantastic. So again, guys, if you want to help boost her followers, go check her out on Instagram. Check her out her Facebook, and also please go subscribe to her YouTube channel because she wants to get back into that as well. If you guys don't know who LUNACHIBUNNIE is, she's appeared in a few of our post-credit scenes, and she was also in our Kikyo music video that we put out last summer, which was fantastic. One of the best things of the year. Guys, go follow all those people, please do. And the last person I want to give it, fourth person I want to give a shout out to is D-Man1954. Surprisingly, he has watched our show, which is great. He's a big King Kong fan. In fact, he, as far as I know right now, he's like one of the #1 Godzilla Kaiju YouTubers at the moment, and he's been doing really well. We've been really impressed with his content, but he's reached out to us. He's a really great guy. Hoping to work with him at some point. So go check out his YouTube channel. Go subscribe to him. Really nice guy. Maybe, you know, I don't know, D-Man. Some point, maybe we could get you on the show. We can get you on an episode. I just don't know which. Not 100% sure which, but I definitely want to get you on at some point. I think you and I could really work together on something. D-Man1954 is a really great guy. So go subscribe to him on YouTube. And last but not least, somebody who's been helping us write a few episodes of our Kong reviews is HEWY TOONMORE of HEWY's animated movie reviews. Yes, Ike Studios, he did a cover, actually he did it for us. He dedicated to us here on the BigJackFilms channel, which a big thank you to. But anyway, so go check out HEWY TOONMORE. He has been helping us write the last 2 episodes that we're currently editing right now of the Kong reviews. Go check out his YouTube channel, please subscribe, and also please pledge to his Patreon. He could really use the support right now. He was one of our biggest influencers in doing reviews, aside from Channel Awesome and Cinemassacre. But regardless, he can use the help. He's been on the platform for over a decade. I remember I actually watched his first episode, which was on Star Wars The Clone Wars, the movie that he did. That was his first episode. But he's gone on to do other reviews, which have been fantastic. My personal favorites being his review of The Little Engine That Could, which was an animated film from the 90s that I grew up with. Really brought me back to that. And the other one I really enjoyed that he did was the top 10 animated dinosaur documentaries, which he did with the illiterate scholar, who was actually our dinosaur expert on the Kong remake. So you can find all those on his channel. And the last review he did that I think is my personal favorite is on the Mighty Kong. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about with finding the VHS. But anyway, to the point, we did our review, but I think his review is superior to mine. So please, because he goes into so much detail of how much it sucks, go check out those reviews and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And please pledge to his Patreon. He could really use the support right now, so please do that. Thank you all so much. So anyway, cosplay stuff. Now that we've gotten our shoutouts out of the way, cosplay stuff. There's no mail this week, unfortunately. Didn't get much mail. Oh well. I actually have been organizing all my mail, because actually now I have not only all my fan mail in a folder that I'm keeping in my files, but I've also got all the artwork I've been getting, the gifted artwork you guys have been sending me. I've been actually pinning on my bulletin board now, so I keep them there as kind of like, here's all the fan art. I think I might need to get more bulletin boards down the road. So anyway, so cosplay. So yes, at Anime Shogatsu, I will be cosplaying Jack from Legend. Legend is my new obsession. A great fantasy movie starring Tom Cruise, Mia Sara, and the delicious Tim Curry. I would recommend, again, I've said this a million times, I'd recommend Legend so much, especially for a visual experience. It's great. So I will be cosplaying Jack. I built this cosplay for about 55 bucks total. And what's cool is I'm doing the one with the armor. So like the gold armor and the sword and shit. The armor was actually surprisingly very easy, because at first I thought it was going to be very difficult. I was thinking, should I use foam pieces for the chainmail? Because it's very chainmail, kind of dragon scale-like, so it's kind of like golden mithril. You know, mithril, as light as a feather, but as hard as dragon scales. Basically, I had no idea how I was going to do it. I was thinking foam, I was getting advice, but then I was shopping at a local thrift shop with my mother, and I found this sort of dress that had those, what do they call it? The, sequins? Those little, like, weird things you fold up and down. They make different colors and kind of shiny and shit. So, I basically modified this thing and made it look like a set of armor. I had to cut the bottom off, and then I just put it over my shoulder so it looks a bit more like an armor piece rather than a dress. Put a belt around it, got myself a nice brown shirt to put under it. I found some gauntlets by using hockey armor. I just used some hockey armor and just spray painted it gold. And then the sword, I had a spare sword lying around that I modified and made it look like the sword from the movie, so it's got all the jewels and everything. I added the shield. I got the gold shield that looks exactly like the show, or the movie. And then the last thing, I actually added a few more details. I added a quiver of bow and arrows, because there is a scene in the movie where he does acquire a bow and arrow, so I added that. I added his torch, which is not a real torch, but it's a prop torch, so I can store that in the quiver bag. And then I also added a secondary sword, because I know at the end of the film, when he's spoilers, when he's battling the Lord of Darkness, he does acquire a second sword that's just lying around. That's one of the things I really love about Legend 2, is that the details in the sets, especially Darkness's lair, are fantastic. What I love is this, there's just all these treasures and gold and swords lying around. It literally looks like Smaug's cave from The Hobbit. There's just all this gold and jewels and like even weapons lying around. So if you're in the middle of a quest and you're going through this cave, and you don't have a weapon, you can easily acquire a weapon by just picking it up. So I have another spare long sword that I have for Jack that I keep on his strap as well, his shoulder straps. And then I also just add a little bag of stuff so I could keep, like, you know, gold trinkets or something. So, normally with cosplay, you think you just do the basics, but I like to add those extra details. Not many people do that, but I add details. I've learned it from watching a lot of documentaries from people over at Weta Workshop and talking to people at Weta Workshop in New Zealand, that they, their best talents, the reason they're so good is because they add detail. And they always tell cosplayers to add detail, it'll add more props to you. So that's what I've done with my Jack cosplay. I tried to add as much detail as I could on a budget. So that was pretty cool. So it's going to be a pretty kick-ass cosplay. I will post photos on Instagram and everything when I'm at the con, but I think it's going to end up being a really fantastic cosplay. And I think my inspiration for really, because it was on my to-do list for a long time, but my main inspiration for doing it is because, as you guys can see, yes, my hair is long as fuck. I don't care what people say. I love the long hair. It makes me feel like a badass warrior motherfucker. I feel like Aragorn, or, you know, those guys, or Tom Cruise in Last Samurai. So I put it back, but then there were like strands coming from the side. I'm like, I look like Jack from Legend. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this cosplay. So I'm going to be featuring this in Anime Shogatsu and Anime North and a few other cons until I got my use out of it. So that's what's been happening on that front, which is pretty kick-ass. I will be doing that for Comic-Con. I think at some point I am going to try to cosplay the Lord of Darkness. I have no idea how the hell I do it. I probably just get a mask. But if I could do it pretty easily, because really all I have to do is just get a red morph suit, some robes, and then the mask, and that's it. I think it could be done. I'm doing Will Smith. We're just talking about cosplay and shit, so that's pretty cool. Have you heard any news about the Eric Kessler Kong prequel? No, I have not. I haven't heard anything. I have talked to him once or twice, but haven't heard anything. When it comes out, and then I'll review it pretty much. I'm hoping I'll review it at some point. Queen 70s hair. Actually, speaking of Queen, that's another episode we've been writing is, spoilers. I will be covering this year for the 40th anniversary. I will be reviewing, Flash Gordon, the 1980s film. I just watched it for the first time, and I actually had fun with it. I don't know if I should do an opening night, but I'm saving it for the BigJackFilms reviews. I do want to do a review on Flash Gordon. And that's going to be a very quick review, very easy thing to do. So, Flash Gordon is coming. How's your Android 17 cosplay? I haven't cosplayed 17 yet, but that is on my to-do list. I think I could pull that off. If me and BATTYALANA do that, that'd be amazing. That'd be really cool. Have I heard anything about Robert the Bruce? It is coming to DVD and Blu-ray. And it has not been released in theaters here in North America. Unfortunately, it was only a limited release, but it is going to be released worldwide on DVD and Blu-ray. I was considering Gladiator, but I'm not 100% if I'm going to be able to make it this year, David. I know Legend is definitely on my list. That is the Ridley Scott film I do want to talk about the most. And I do want to, I want to talk about Legend because it's actually the 35th anniversary, so I think that'll be pretty cool. So, now with all that said, no, you are not too late, Brock. I'm just going through some props. We were just talking about my upcoming cons, and then my Inuyasha vlogs I'm going to start soon. By the way, guys, go subscribe to Brock. Really great guy, really great talent. He does these amazing fan film reviews. Please go check him out. What if they asked you to write Legend 2? Oh, I have a few ideas for a sequel. I think what I would do, it's kind of like, it's funny because I remember I went to a screening a couple of years ago, maybe about 10 years ago. I went to a screening of The Last Unicorn. It was a screening that was presented by Shout Factory. The film was completely remastered, completely cleaned up, because it was, for a couple of years, DVD releases by Lionsgate, they had heavily censored the film. Most notably, they cut everything with damn out. And the film was not in the best shape, digitally wise. So, here comes Shout Factory that puts out this amazing Blu-ray and DVD of the film, and it's approved by the author of the book. And at the screening, I met the author. He's a really nice guy. A really cool guy, the author of the book. And he's actually, believe it or not, I was seeing he was selling fan art, like artwork at the screening, and he was selling artwork of King Haggard, played by Christopher Lee, on the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. And I'm like, where'd you get this artwork? This is awesome. And he said, oh, I'm friends with George R.R. Martin. I'm like, oh shit. because I am a Game of Thrones fan. I do like Game of Thrones. I did enjoy the show for what it was. But anyway, so it's kind of cool that he was there at the screening. And I was talking to him about, like, I mean, because there's talks about doing a movie and so on, but, and I was telling him, you know, would there be possibilities of a second one? He said, there actually is a second one. And I had no idea that there was a follow-up to this, that there was a book follow-up to The Last Unicorn. And apparently, from the story-wise, it was, basically, Prince Lear assumes Hagrid's throne. He tries to bring peace to the land, but it's kind of like dragon sickness in The Hobbit, with Thorin Oakenshield being consumed by the treasure. But in this case, he suffers from what his father does, where he's not happy, and he dies alone and sad and old. And it's because, I think it's mostly because, from what I remember, due to the fact that his only love, who was this unicorn, had fled and he never saw her again. But it's like, but I would be like, you think this guy would go and at least find her? Go on a quest, maybe like travel the lands on horse and go to the enchanted forest where she lives and maybe find her, maybe talk things out, figure things out, because she kind of just left on a whim and he never even got to say goodbye to her. Like, yeah, the unicorn saved his life, but he never got to say goodbye. So it's like, dude, you should go right off and find her. That's a movie on its own. The Quest for the Unicorn, or the search for the search for the unicorn. Like, have Prince Lear go to find her, and and say, look, I'm sorry it didn't work out, or something. It just felt, because they had such a strong connection in that story. It's like, I want some closure here. So when it comes to Legend, the second Legend, if I were to write it, I thought of the concept that basically you get Tom Cruise back, you get Mia Sara back, but obviously they're a bit older now. It's been about 35 years. And I would do it kind of like Top Gun Maverick, which is coming out soon. But the way I would do it is that I would have Jack and Lily be king and queen. And that's another thing. We explore more of the world. We explore more of this fairy tale world, this mythology that Scott had set up. And yeah, we have King Jack and Queen Lily. They have now ascended to the throne. They have maybe a child or something like that. And they rule the land. And maybe I have the idea that Jack is wearing gold armor similar to King Arthur and Excalibur. And I like the idea Tom Cruise has a beard too. I like that kind of concept that he's now become a king. And he's, ruling the lands and everything. And he's pretty peaceful. But then you got to write yourself into darkness, because depending on which cut you watch, darkness is not yet defeated. But unfortunately, you could either CGI it, but you obviously can't get Tim Curry back because, he suffered a stroke, but he's recovering well, but he's not fit to really perform it. So you could either CGI him for at least a cameo scene, but I would focus more on his son. So the title of the film would be Legend 2, Son of Darkness, or Legend, the Son of Darkness. I think that would be a good place to go and have it where the Son of Darkness essentially has come to claim the land, and, maybe because he's half human, he doesn't need the magic of the unicorn to enter daylight, maybe have something like that. Maybe, yeah, it turns out, maybe the idea that Jack and Lily's son has been consumed by darkness, and darkness essentially takes over his body and says, I am the Son of Darkness. And, and I would also maybe write in that the unicorns have been missing for over 30 years. They haven't been seen since the events of the first film. That's something I would like to see, but also stay with the original visuals, the original story. No. Here's the thing, Ike. If you're going to watch the VHS version, you're going to be watching the American cut, which is awful. I just want to point this out, because I have seen both cuts. I've seen... She hasn't been seen since 2012? I wonder if you can find her. It's weird that some actresses go off the grid. Like, Mia Sara, and then you have things like, obviously Jack Nicholson's retired. But then you have things like anime voice actors who you can't find. Like, there's 2 anime voice actresses who have essentially gone off the grid, and Inuyasha Dinosaur 101, this is probably going to upset you a little bit, but 2 actresses that you cannot find right now in any contact form or whatever are Monica Story and Willow Johnson. the voices of Kagome and Kikyo and Inuyasha, they've gone off the grid. They've, like, disappeared, and you're like, why? Like, look, it's the 20th anniversary. Y'all need to come back and make a reunion here. And from what I've gathered, my best bet, Monika's story probably went off the grid for a bit, because when Final Act was being made, she did not come back to reprise the role of Kagome and was replaced by a different actress who, after watching most of Final Act, I thought was fine, but it wasn't Monika. And I think she probably got a lot of backlash from fans saying, why didn't you come back? And and she probably just like, fuck that. But that was early internet. But Willow Johnson, as far as I know, she is happily married, has a kid, and she's living in New York, which is pretty cool. That's the last I heard about Willow Johnson, the voice of Kikyo. So it's weird with that, in that sense. But yeah, in terms of Legend 2, that's what I would do. Jack and Lily are king and queen, they have a child, and the child is consumed by the Lord of Darkness and becomes the Son of Darkness. That's what I would do, because I think that would be an interesting way to go about continuing the story. And I probably wouldn't do any after that. I would probably keep it a duology. But in terms of cuts, I wanted to bring this up. I prefer the director's UK cut with the Jerry Goldsmith score. It's a much more paced out story. It's much better. It's a little slow. A lot of people find it a little boring, but I think that's the point. It's meant to be represented as sort of this bedtime story that you tell your kids, and, you know, you fall asleep to, which I've done. I actually put on Legend to help me fall asleep. It's a great movie to fall asleep to, because it's literally like hearing a bedtime story. So, I would say the theatrical cut by the Scott director's cut is better, but the US theatrical cut distributed by Universal is actually really not good. First off, they chopped about a half hour out of the film. A lot of key elements are missing, and it was more to just make it more simpler and faster. There are alternate scenes. Darkness is revealed way too early. Like, in the first 5 minutes, he's revealed. I'm like, why did you do that? He was so much better staying in the shadows until the third act. And the only thing I kind of liked about the American cut was one, we'll get to that in a sec, the ending was a lot better. I like the ending in the American cut than the director's cut. But then the other thing I enjoyed, the music is better in the American cut, which sucks, because I like Jerry Goldsmith, but I prefer Tangerine Dream's score. And I know pretty much the story was they were brought in, I think they were friends with Tom Cruise, I'm not 100%, but they were brought in by Universal, and they just said, okay, what do you want it to sound like? And Universal just said, make it sound, and here, I'll just use, this is my dad smokes, but I'll just use this as a prop. It's like, so Tangerine Dream's like, oh yeah, mate, what do you want the music to this Legend film to sound like? And Universal says, make it like those Never-Ending Story pictures. That movie made a box office at the box office in last year, so let's put some 80 synthesizers in there, see? I think that's how it went. They just said, make it Never-Ending Story it, where they add 80 synthesizer music. And you know what? For this film, it kind of works. A lot of the songs are great. The music's fantastic. But yeah, Legend, I would prefer, if I could make a fan edit of the director's cut with the Tangerine Dream music, that's what I would do. Just to kind of make it, like, cohesive and a much better experience. I've also considered, because of the recent things with the new Star Wars movies, I've considered doing fan edits of The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I don't know how I do it, though, but I have some issues with those films that a little tweaks in the editing it would make a lot better. But anyway, so, there's the question about Legend, me going on for probably about 10 minutes worth about Legend. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with that film. It's a wonderful movie. I think probably, I hate to say this, it probably beats out Kong in terms of visuals. Now, I still consider the original King Kong and Kong 76 my favorite films, but Legend beats them by visuals, and I never thought I'd say that. Could you review that one movie with that one guy last year? You mean Media Hunter? Isaac? Well, it's funny, because Isaac actually reached out to me, and he said he would like to work with me again. I'm like, I could probably do that. It just has to depend on a movie that I would enjoy. Oh god, Thomas, the Never-Ending Story animated series. Even for a kid, I thought that sucked. And it looked like the third one. Oh god. And I'm surprised Nostalgia Critic hasn't covered that yet. Thoughts on Steven Spielberg's second film of 1993, Schindler's List? It's a sad movie. pretty sad movie. That's all I can say. Yes, Brock, there is a Never-Ending Story animated series. And it sucks. It sucks hard. It's awful. I think I would actually say this. I prefer to watch Never-Ending Story 3 because at least that had Jack Black. That had Jack Black in it. He's the only good thing about that movie. Thoughts on Ren and Stimpy? I never grew up with Ren and Stimpy. It was never really a cartoon. I think it was actually past my time, Ren and Stimpy for me. Like, I was born in 92, but watching, I think I was it kind of passed by Ren and Stimpy. I was more of an Animaniacs guy. I was more of a Tiny Toon Adventures guy, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid. Freakazoid was the shit. Love Freakazoid. Did I end up doing a commentary on my G.I. Joe review? I'll have to look into it. You want a commentary? I'll do a commentary. I think if that's something people want to see. That might be something I might put up Friday then, if you guys want. I'll do something about that. I don't, like, to quote Christopher Walken, Brock, I don't know. Rama One Half, I've heard about it. I know it's from Riku Takahashi, but I have yet to watch it and experience it. Even though I am more of an Inuyasha person. I've seen the Robot Chicken skit. That's probably the closest I know about Rama. Basically. Bionic Baseball Charlie Brown. Oh my god. Who would win, Freakazoid or Deadpool? Neither. They team up and it would be fucking amazing. See, can you imagine them doing... See, I could see them doing a Freakazoid movie. But what's weird about it, I kind of want them to cast Jim Carrey as Freakazoid. Because it would essentially be The Mask, but he's in spandex. And the thing is, like, here's how you could cheat it. You could do Jim Carrey still as Freakazoid, but what's cool about it is that you get somebody else to play Dexter Datless. I think that's how they say in the theme song, right? Check out Dexter Datless, your computer ace. When surfing on the internet, I was zapped in cyberspace. What a great theme song, by the way. That's what needs a revival is goddamn Freakazoid. Freakazoid and Cyber 6. Everybody's been petitioning Cyber 6. But yeah, Cyber 6 and Freakazoid need to come back. If Animaniacs are coming back, you best goddamn bring back Freakazoid. That was the shit for me. But Ren and Stimpy I never grew up with. For me, it's weird because I think my version of Ren and Stimpy was pretty much SpongeBob. SpongeBob was my Ren and Stimpy. In fact, I will classify SpongeBob as this generation's Gumby. It's pretty much the same thing. Gumby with a little bit of Ren and Stimpy added to it. And in fact, actually, fuck. If they bring back Gumby, give it that Ren and Stimpy SpongeBob feel. I think that would be fantastic. Oh my god, that'd be great. Like, you could have the blockheads be his, like, crummy-ass neighbors. You could have, Pokey be the Patrick Star. You could get Prickle and Goo in there. Look, I'm a Gumby fan. I'm sorry. I fucking loved that shit as a kid. Gumby was my shit. How old is Gumby? Gumby's been around since the 50s. As I say, like, where's my fucking revival of Gumby? You know what? At some point, you need to acknowledge some of the memes, including the one that Ray William Johnson once did. Fuck you, Gumby! Do that somehow, like, do an episode about swearing and make that the meme. I'm okay with that. Just like they constantly like, beep you, Gumby! Gumby was great. It's pretty much 50 SpongeBob, but Nolan claymation. That's a toughie. I can't really decide that one, man. So, we've passed this on for a bit too long. I've thought about Toy Story at some point. I'm not 100% on it. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so, to the point. Before we get to more questions, I want to show off some of the props I've been building. Some of these were commissions, and some of these I've been building for myself. This one is old as hell. I know, like, Inuyasha Dinosaur once tempted to see this. So, what I hold in thou my hands is my own version of Tetsaiga from Inuyasha. Tetsaiga is the sword that Inuyasha wields. It is built from the fang of his father and can kill 100 demons in one swing. Now, I've had this prop for a while because I did this for an Inuyasha cosplay at Anime North, and the cosplay was not the best, especially in the makeup. But the sword, the way I built the sword, it's just a piece of wood that kind of goes all the way up the blade, and then it was about 2 sheets of cardboard that were attached. These are just 2 sheets of cardboard that cut out the same shape and then just kind of glued and taped on. And then pool noodle foam. Pool noodle foam, so it's soft and you can hit people with it. So this is LARPable. And it was just pool noodle foam on the edges of the blade, and then just duct tape. And all this, you could get this shit at the dollar store. So this is essentially a dollar store build. I think this cost a total of about $20 to make. But if you guys want Tetsaiga, this is how you build it. I don't know, maybe if somebody wants a commission to Tetsaiga, like a local cosplayer who wants a commission, I could probably build this again and then, like, do a how-to on it, because I think people would like to know how to build Tetsaiga on a really cheap budget. Now, the fur is just a old unicorn costume that I just cut, you know, I skinned a unicorn. Yes, that is sad. I'm no better than Darkness. But what's funny is I just added this brown fabric to the grip. Now, it came off an old cowboy vest that I had as a kid that I didn't care about anymore. And it had those kind of, you know, those strips on those cowboy vests they have? Well, I took those strips and they had the perfect color for Tetsaiga. And as I was wrapping it, I noticed there was, like, some of the strings were kind of, like, detaching. But Tetsaiga is supposed to kind of have that. It's supposed to be, like, this old, ancient sword. And so I thought that actually looked kind of good. So I wrapped a few of those, and it came out pretty damn well. So this is Tetsaiga. It's pretty big. It is a pretty big sword. Look at that. Like, it does, like, you're hitting chains and shit. But you could actually... It's kind of like Tetsaiga meets Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy. And yeah, you can actually, it's pretty light, you can swing this around, you can actually pretty fast hit people with it. I did twirl it, I can twirl it. It is a little tricky, and there goes that prop, which we'll get to in a sec. But yeah, you can twirl it. Can you imagine a lightsaber this size? Holy shit, eat your heart out, Kylo Ren. Oh my god. That's great. So there's that. I've shown this prop off before, these two props. But this I got at a Renaissance fair down in Florida at Deerfield Beach. Really nice Renaissance fair. And I bought this for about $20. This is actually for a friend, but I'm borrowing it. Tokijin, which is the sword that Inuyasha's brother Sesshomaru uses on Inuyasha. And this is real steel. This is an actual steel blade. It's not sharp, which is good except for the tip. You know, just the tip. This sword is being used for a Sesshomaru cosplay and for future prop. And I've been really getting into more metal swords rather than the fake ones. Like, if you get a big sword like Tetsaiga over here, it's going to be difficult to make that into steel. But this is a very nice sword. Tokijin is the demon sword that was forged from Naraku's incarnation known as Goshinki. And it was basically the same format as Tetsaiga. And it pretty much contains evil power. Sesshomaru uses this to pretty much more block Tetsaiga than he does fight it. And eventually, I think this weapon is destroyed at some point in the show. I can't remember if it was destroyed or absorbed into Tenseiga and became Thransaiga. Or no, it wasn't Thransaiga. That's mine. That's my fictional version. Bakusaga. Or Bakusaga, I think is what it was called. But yeah, I can't remember if this was forged into Tenseiga or if it was destroyed. I think it was destroyed. But what's really cool is actually, I should bring this up. I have plans with this Inuyasha project at some point to reveal, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101 is going to like this. I have plans to reveal a third Fang. And the third Fang is actually a female sword. It's a she. And it's the sister sword between the two brothers, Tetsaiga and Tenseiga. But here's the catch. It was forged for a human use who was a friend of Inuyasha's father. And it basically is the same thing as Tetsaiga. The same design, the same look, but there's a catch. It was forged by elves. And I'm talking like Middle-earth elves. So it's got that kind of elvish look to it. Think like Tetsaiga if it was made by the elves from Lord of the Rings with that kind of feel. It's going to have the same kind of look, but basically maybe some elvish encryptions. And it's being known as the Sister Fang. And I'm calling it Thransaiga. Or Thransaiga. I think Thransaiga. And basically means Sister Fang, both in Japanese and in Elvish. So I'm going to be building that at some point for a future project, is Thransaiga, which is my own personal creation. It is the Sister Fang, and it is usable by humans. No demon can ever use that sword. So, which is pretty cool, because think about it. If you have demons fighting each other. You gotta have humans defending them. So that should be pretty cool down the line. Mr. Plankett's final season review. Oh, no! Okay, the next prop. You guys have obviously seen this. I'm gonna fix them up at some point, but obviously, we're on a bit of an Inuyasha kick lately. We have here this guy. You guys have seen him before. Yes, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. It's Muppet Jockin. Muppet Jockin I've had for a while. I'm gonna probably bring him back to Anime North. And what's cool about Muppet Jockin, he's pretty... Because I always figured if they did a film, if they did like a fan film, you could do Jockin as CGI. Would be probably the cheaper bet, because no studios pay their CGI workers. But I thought if they do it the same way as Yoda, where he would be a Muppet, like a hand puppet. Now, I am planning to maybe make another one of these. But this is essentially my first kind of prototype for Jockin. Basically using a Build-A-Bear piece, but the biggest issue is, yeah, he has more of a beak. So I try to get that beak look with him. You know, it's like, hey, I have another funny joke for you. That's not Jockin. Jockin sounds more like this. I'm trying to find Lord Sesshomaru. So what's cool is it's kind of the same look as Yoda when they did in Empire, where you have a puppeteer holding him kind of by the head, moving his mouth, but then you have somebody moving his arm. So like, say he's walking, because you know how like in Jedi, so this is what would happen. When you're filming it, you'd have to be at the bottom of the floor or bottom of the camera, and you bring him up, right, and he'd just be kind of, you'd make him walk around like that. So that's how you would do kind of any kind of like puppet or something. You'd have to lay low and kind of watch a monitor or something, and you'd have to like move with it. So this is how Yoda was essentially done. So with Jockin, right here, yes, I'm Jockin, hello, I'm trying to find Lord Sesshomaru. You'd probably have to just make him walk like this, but try to aim your camera angles in the way you could get Jockin into position. So to kind of get that kind of puppetry look. So at some point, I do want to remake this puppet, and I do want to make him more accurate, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're on shoestring budgets, essentially. But I think for, like, budget prototype Jockin, it is kind of cool. No, don't you agree? Yeah, it is kind of cool. I've been kind of getting into puppetry. Puppetry's kind of fun. I'd love to do a Yoda. A Yoda puppet would be great. But we have, for the Star Wars reviews, we have the interactive Yoda that we just film on blue screen, and we just make that work. You know, I can't use this guy, you know, and shit like that. But I do love this puppet. It's so funny. Like, look how goofy that is. But yeah, I think I might do some TikToks with these too. I think Inuyasha TikTokers will love this. Baby Yoda's cool. I haven't watched Mandalorian yet, so maybe it's about. I might do an opening night on Mandalorian. Hi, Rice Duke. Good to see ya. Guys, go subscribe to Rice Duke. He needs more followers. He needs more subscribers to get inspired to make videos, because his videos are fucking awesome. Please do go check out Rice Duke. So, last prop. Now, this was a commission, sort of, both a prototype and a commission. Normally, when I build any prop, they are prototypes, because now that I know how to build them, I can actually say, here's how I build them. Would you like me to make it for you and then get paid for it, and it's a little job. So, this prop, this is the big one. This is the one I've been working on. You guys have seen me on Instagram and Twitter talk about it. This is a prop that was kind of commissioned, but I wanted to kind of experiment and see what I could do with it. Hang on. Yep, for a prop challenge. Oh, that'd be cool. Prop challenge, like do kind of an interactive live stream. I know once I get my new laptop set up, which I did get a new laptop, I might be able to go back to having people on the show, on the live streams. So maybe we'll do that. So, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101, you are going to love this shit. I built, for a grand total, I'm going to say maybe about 50 bucks total. Because half of that was a certain piece of material. I built, because a friend really wanted one, and I figured I'd do a test. This is the weapon known as, I think you pronounce it Hiarikotsu, which is Sango's demon-slaying weapon from Inuyasha. Yes, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101, this is Hiarikotsu. I built this. This is a very interesting build. It's kind of the best detail I can do. Pretty much dollar store material for about $50. So, the way this works out is it's the same way I made Tetsaiga. 2 sheets of cardboard to make the overall shape, and so it's more sturdy. So these are 2 pieces of large cardboards. Now, my mom had a huge box of Christmas ornaments that she's had for years, and she threw it out in order to make room for more bins and stuff for a bit more organization. So we had these 2 massive boxes, or this one massive box with a lid and everything that we just had, and I figured I'll use this. So I cut the shape of the HEWY coats using 2 sheets of cardboard. Then I hot glued it, duct taped it together, and just like the Tetsaiga, the edges are pool noodle foam. So the pool noodle foam I bought at the dollar store, and I just cut it kind of down one side, and I would just stick it onto the cardboard, slide it on, duct tape it. So I had all the shape put together, but the biggest issue I had, believe it or not, was finding the right color. Because I couldn't paint on duct tape, or spray paint, because, duct tape does not, and latex and paint don't go well. So I had to find, obviously, a beige duct tape. I had to find a beige duct tape, and it was very hard to come by. I looked at Walmart, I looked at Home Depot, I looked everywhere, nothing. And half the time, the online stuff, it was expensive for 1 roll. 1 roll was like $40, which I'm like, screw that. So, luckily, I found out they have beige duct tape at Michael's, which is an arts and crafts store. It's a little bit more pricey, like $7 a roll, but I got about 3 rolls, and I used every roll and got this done, because I had to pretty much, salvage as much of the beige duct tape as I could. So I was able to ration it to build the whole thing on both sides. Now, then there was finally the brown fabrics on the top. This was just some old brown fabric I had that I just kind of put on there. And then I had little gold ribbons to put on there as well. And then finally, there's the little bell, which I had an old sword grip that had this little ball piece, so I added that. Now, it is accurate to the show, so you do carry it like so. So this is, in the show, the weapon is forged from many demon bones. So all the spirits of the demons live in this and give it the power it does. So when Sango's weapon is more of a projectile weapon. So whenever you have your party in quest, you have your swordsmen, you have your wizards, you have your, all this stuff, and acquire your weapons. And basically, between Kagome and Sango, they were more of the projectile weapons. So they were the ones that would have ammo and stuff. Whereas Kagome is more of the firearms person, so she had the bow and arrow. She would shoot as many as she could with multiple arrows. Sango was actually a mix of, your basic, your autopilot, your firing squad or whatever. But she was also the air support. So whenever they were in a battle, she would be the air support riding on Kilala. So she would throw this goddamn boomerang, shout out the name, I can't pronounce it now, HEWY coats, throw this damn thing, and it was literally a boomerang. It would go around and come back to her. And it would slaughter like maybe about 20 demons in one swing. So, unfortunately, I've not tested to see if this thing I can actually throw it, and I don't want to because this is a prop. I figured if you shot it, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101, take note. If you filmed this, doing the scene, like the classic scene where she throws it, what you would do is you would have your prop, you'd have your actor or actress throw it kind of towards camera, like as much as she could, without hitting the camera. Then you would cut to like a model or CG thing of it just kind of floating. And then when you have to have it come back, because, boomerangs, you have to bring them back. So what you would do is you would have your actor stand still for like a couple frames, and then you would essentially like have a stagehand come in, put the prop in her hand, and then say action, and then kind of bring it back. And in between that time, when it's not in frame, you add the model so it can come back. So it's a simple special effect, easy to do. So yeah, the boomerang's there, so you can carry it like she does in the show, which is pretty cool. She does carry it. But what I also added, just for a little extra detail, on the brown piece, I had a spare belt strap. And this belt strap, I think, came from an old like laptop case, laptop carrying on. So what's cool is there's a black strap that if you need to carry it, but like without, holding it with one hand, you could technically put it over your shoulder and have it carry around. So that way, your hands are free to use a katana or any other weapon. So I want, again, adding details to your props is something that is essential. So this is HEWY coats. It's pretty goddamn cool. It's pretty fucking big. In fact, you know what? Believe it or not, this fucking beast is not only taller than me, it's bigger than Tetsaiga if you scale them up. Holy shit, this thing dwarfs Tetsaiga. So, I didn't expect it to be this big. I did do research, I did look up like how other people had built them, but I wanted to give more of a cheaper alternative. I know most people would build them out of styrofoam, or they would build, and which is really, honestly guys, styrofoam is the worst material you can work with because it breaks easily. I've had bad experiences with styrofoam, like those model planes you would get that you would fly around. You fly it once, it breaks, and then it's over. And you spent like $10. I wanted to make it out of sturdy material that is long-lasting, so I used cardboard, and I used pool noodle foam, and I used duct tape. And what's cool about it, so say you have a scene where Moroku's trying to propose to a girl, you can do that scene where Sango hits him over the head with the boomerang, and it won't hurt because it's a foam padding, so this is basically a goddamn LARP weapon. This is a LARP weapon. This thing is amazing. So for any LARPers who want to build a HEWY coats and use it in battle, you could technically do this with this because it acts as a shield. You can use this as a big-ass shield to protect your entire body. Say you're in the middle of fire, you're running towards the battle, and then you see arrows coming. Boom! Hide behind the fucking HEWY coats. It also acts as a shield and a weapon, and you can also hit people with it, which is fucking awesome. So this build was for a cosplay commission, and I wanted to build a prototype first, mostly one, because I wanted to see if I could build it, and two, I wanted to keep one for myself, because I do love this thing. So I am probably going to build another one. I am going to do a DIY on it, and then I will probably make it a business to just make these for people. Because cardboard's easy. What's not cheap is the tape. The tape and the glue and the straps, they're not cheap. But cardboard is easy to assemble. So there are all our local props for the day. And you know what? Fuck, I'll throw one more in there. Throw one more in there before we get back to a few more questions. Throw one more prop in there. Oh, fuck, that's not going to hold shit. Technical difficulties. I want to show a bit of a nostalgic prop. So, before I do, I should point out that I've been kind of getting back into Kong again. It's been a while since I've been into Kong. Kind of looking back on my movie, making VHS copies, and, you know, it was a fun experience. So, you guys want to see a prop I still have from that film? Okay. This prop I've kept, this is pretty much the only prop aside from the suits that I kept. This motherfucker's been standing here for a while. This here is the full-scale, goddamn giant hand we had built for Kong. This is legit. This is an actual full-scale hand of Kong. So when you see it in the movie, that's not the fucking glove that's in Sylvana's hand. It was a full-scale model. Full-scale hand. Not many people would go to this effort for a Kong film, but I did. This was made for about $200. I am not gonna lie. So, the way this was built, I may do a tutorial on how to. I don't know if I'd ever build another one. It'd be cool to build another one and have like two hands. But the way this was built, the main source was the hand. Because this is not custom made. This is a Halloween costume. This is a Halloween costume. It's just the hand, and it came with a girl's dress and everything. So it was made for girls, but it was more about the hand. The hand you could probably get, like the costume you could find online for about $50, $70. And that was our main source. Our second source was building a skeletal structure. So just like Tetsaiga, there is a wooden piece as the centerpiece. It's all wood. And there's a skeletal construction underneath. So you have the long wooden pole for the arm, and then we had a flat piece of wood for the palm, and then for the fingers, to make them more flexible, we used pool noodle foam. We used pool noodle foam, and we built it out of that. So that way you could, like, you know, move them and everything. So there's pool noodle foam underneath. And then, obviously, we slid this on like a glove, and then the rest of the arm was foam, like bed foam. We bought one sheet of bed foam at Walmart for about $20, wrapped it around for the muscle, so it's kind of like the original Kong, where they used foam for the muscle. So we did that, and then we just got a bunch of black fur from a odd shop in Toronto. And we just bought the fur. I think that was about maybe 50, 100. And then this was 75. So it was coming up to 200. And then we just wrapped it up. My dad stitched it up. And one of the things you never would know about this is that we had planned to... We had put fishing line, sewn fishing line into the fingers and through this side of the arm. So when you have for stagehands holding the arm for shot, you have another person pulling the fishing line so his fingers could move. Now, it had worked on a few shots. But then the wire snapped. And we could never repair it. So half the time in the movie, we tried to make it move on its own. So if we needed to have his arm reach out, we'd have it start like this. We'd bring it to its side, and then he could bring it out, and... Well, hang on, let me try that again. See, it took a few takes. You bring it out, and boom. That way you can have his fingers out. So if you guys want to know how to build a Kong hand, I might do a tutorial on this sometime down the line to actually build a new one, because this is his left hand, I believe. Yeah, let's see. No, this is right. It's his right hand. I might customize and make a left one. If you guys want to see that, let me know, because I could maybe do something with that at events. In fact, you know what? At some point, I do want to, if I come to G-Fest, I'm going to do my damn best to bring this, because you guys should see this. I think this would be a costume winner at G-Fest. This thing would impress so many people. It'd be great, because I want to have a booth, and I want to have a green screen for people to take photos with this thing. So, that's how I built this. This thing has been around since we built this around maybe 2012, so about 2 years before we filmed. Or about 2 years during filming. So, it's been here forever. I'm going to take it with me to my apartment wherever I live, and it's going to go in the background somewhere. But I keep that as probably my best accomplishment on that film, is the fact that I can build full-scale creatures like that. Now, would I build another full-scale creature? Yeah, I would like to. Like, I think if I can build that, I could probably build Kilala, which I would love to do. Full-scale animatronic Kilala, that'd be great. So, that's what's been happening. There's our prop show and tell for today. So let's get back to questions. I know Huey TOONMORE is in the chat. Ever considered doing MLP reviews? No. No. I'm sorry. I would not. I'm not one for that. I'm not one for. I'm not a big My Little Pony fan. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a brony. It was never my thing. Although, funny story, a couple of our cast members on Kong were bronies during production. Brett Charles, who played Jack Driscoll, was a huge brony, and so was Evan Matthews, who was Bob, which was hilarious, because there's some bloopers out there. I think on the blooper reels. You have a scene where, like, Jack's trying to look for Carl Denham. And he's looking around, and then he's like, grabs a picture of Fluttershy, and he's like, Fluttershy, search the skies for him! Which is hilarious. Make a Sikisi sword. You'd have to send me photos for that. Sure, what's up, Huey? Go ahead. By the way, guys, please go subscribe to Huey, and go support his Patreon. He really needs the support, guys. He really does. He could really use the support on that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Are you planning on writing fan fiction again soon? Yeah, I do want to get back on that. I do have a couple stories I do want to tell. I think when kind of writing scripts again, it's kind of got me back into storytelling. But the thing is with writing, it takes a while for me. And I have to be so focused on it that I don't do anything for days, and it's kind of a hobby. If I was being paid to write, I would do it. Essentially. Like, say if somebody on Patreon wanted to donate to me, you could do that. My OC character, Lucy, has sword called Dinosaur. Ooh! So it's Tetsaiga forged from a T-Rex tooth? Okay, not gonna lie, that's fucking awesome. That is awesome. I love that. Ah, it's great. Okay, so review the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That is on my to-do list as well. I don't know when. I do have an idea, kind of a storyline I would tell with that. I just don't know when. I'd probably wait to see if they made a 6th one. What do you think of Lilo and Stitch getting a live-action remake? If they're doing that, no. No. Stop it. Get some help. Hope you get to finish your novelization of King Kong when you start writing again. Yeah, at some point I do. I think I've just been off it for so long because I've been focusing on other things. Team 4-Star used my Cat's NES remix. Oh, nice! Awesome! Congrats, man! I just got out of seeing an anime movie, Weathering with You. It's definitely something you should check out. Have you done an after the movie on it, GT? Because maybe we could save that for this Friday if you want. Like, that'd be a good video to put out. Have you ever watched Lilo and Stitch, the series? I kind of caught glimpses of it as a kid. The only thing I remember is that they did a bunch of crossovers with, like, Recess. So that means that Recess takes place in the same universe as Lilo and Stitch? What the fuck? So where the fuck was Stitch when fucking James Woods' bad guy was trying to make a laser to put the moon in a different fucking orbit in the movie? Has Fallen Kingdom grown on you? Okay, so for people who have watched me on TikTok, I did do... There are a couple of scenes in that movie that I do enjoy, but it's just that second act just sucks ass. Okay, thank you, GT is reporting. Thank you so much. Second act just sucks of Fallen Kingdom, but the first act, that whole volcano scene is awesome. I love it. It's fantastic. It's a great action scene. It's a great Jurassic Park movie in that sense. It reminded me of the arcade. But, yeah, that second act just sucks. I have not seen the motion comic. Hey, Red Yoshi. Didn't know you knew GT. You know that clip of 1 million BC that got featured in the episode Digging Up Dinosaurs? I know 1 million BC, I have seen... The first things I ever saw of that Harryhausen film was majority of it was, from, like, documentaries I watched as a kid, and then I watched it finally. Okay! Yes, Brock! You agree with me! The fucking... villain of Recess is an idiot. I need to go on a rant about this because I've been saving this for a while. Because I even thought of this when I was a kid. So, here you have a villain who is essentially trying to destroy summer vacation by putting a laser beam on a moon, to the moon, and making it go into a different orbit, therefore changing the climate of the planet into an essentially Hoth. You've turned the whole planet into Hoth just to get rid of summer vacation. As a kid, that plan was cool. I thought when fucking, what is it, was it fucking TJ was like, "You fiend!" I don't know why. I love when he says that, but I would have preferred if he was just like Inuyasha, where he's like, "You bastard!" You know, like something like that. Just you, like that would be me in that situation. When I saw this guy was playing this, I'd be like, "You insane bastard!" First of all, logic and living-wise, it makes no goddamn sense! Because you're essentially getting rid of summer vacation by killing us all! That makes no sense! What's it gonna be, man? Is it gonna be James Woods? Is it gonna be summer vacation? Or destroying the world? You make no goddamn sense! Second of all, and this is the big one. This is what I thought of as a kid. Get rid of summer vacation. It's constantly snowing. So you've essentially now done what Timmy Turner did, where he wished every day would be goddamn Christmas. So that means it's not summer vacation, it's Christmas break. And even fucking TJ at the end when he's like, "Oh, we'll play in the slush. You may take our summer, but you'll never take away summer vacation." Y'all gonna be dead. Y'all are gonna be dead because the earth has turned to ice, food supplies are gone, health supplies are gone, environments are dead, animals are dead. You're fucked. If I reviewed this movie, that would be my rant, to be like, look, his plan to get rid of summer vacation is, you're fucked. That's hilarious. And that makes no sense. It makes no sense. Where's fucking Al Gore to come and kick you in your ass and say, "You're a goddamn idiot. I'm super ethereal." Oh my god. Fucking idiot. James Woods is an idiot in that movie. He's more, like, he's intimidating. This guy's wanting to cause mass genocide on humans by freezing the whole fucking planet. But fuck, dude. Like, look, that's not even summer vacation destroying plans. That's freaking Mr. Freeze levels of bad. Of planning. That's Snow Queen from the second Sailor Moon movie levels of bad. But holy fuck. Holy fuck. Like, okay, so like, I don't know, I just, like, that just kind of took a lot of wind out of me. I need to rant about that, because what an idiot. You've doomed us all, James Woods. And not only are you killing the Recess group off, you're killing off Lilo and Stitch in Hawaii. How are they gonna survive? Oh, this is what happens when I go on too long and start ranting about pointless shit. Oh my god. The Recess movie. The villain's plot makes no fucking sense. Why would you get rid of summer vacation when we're all dead? Are you literally like fucking Forte in the Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas movie where it's like, don't you see, Fife? They can't be together if they're dead. So that is like, don't you see, Principal Skinner? They can't have summer vacation if they're dead. Okay, I'm cutting this stream down now because I'm just going nuts now. I'm going cuckoo. So we're going to answer 3 more questions, and then I'm going to call it a night, alright? I'm bolted to the wall! Oh, I fucking love Tim Curry, man. I sent 2 pics of you. I tried to best sort. Alright, that works. Say BigJackFilms. You remember the Dinosaur Caveman anime series? I have not. Okay, you told me about that. Yeah, I hope that is that the project you're working on? I hope that's happening. Yeah, Huey, I do want to collab at some point. I do want to do that. So that's 2 questions. We got 1 more. 1 more question. I'm calling it. Oh no, Brock! Oh no! Oh, please tell me about it because I'll play him. Let's see. I'm gonna answer 2. I'm gonna answer 3 more actually. Who's my favorite Tim Curry performance outside of Legend? It's a tie between Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island or It, obviously. I think he's better than Bill Skarsgård. Okay, there were 2 more questions. I just want to scroll up. Let's see. Ever seen Jackass? Yes, I enjoy it. I heard they're making a 4th one. Even though they're old as fuck, I don't care. I want to see it. Also, rest in peace, Rip Taylor. He was one of the best things about the end of those films. Last one, my GTs were born. When am I going to review hentai? Fuck. I don't know. I don't want to. If I did, hypothetically if I did, not confirming it. Hypothetically if I did, it would be it'd be 1 a year for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Hentai Day, where love is all about tentacles. Okay, I'm done. I'm calling it a night. Guys, okay, thank you all so much for watching this. This got a little crazy. Tune in Friday, there might be a video, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be going to Anime Shogatsu, so, if you guys want to catch me there, of course, come on by this weekend, and check me out at Anime Shogatsu. It's at the Japanese Cultural Center. Go check it out as well. Go check out, I will be at Anime North, of course. Go check out, all links down below will be for tickets. Of course, if you guys want to see me talk about Inuyasha and talk about the entire series, a couple episodes, every episode, go check out our Patreon. $1 or more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. But you will get to see those videos extremely early because I'm making them Patreon exclusives for now. Those are going to be coming out. I'm going to try to get the first one out Friday so you guys can see that. Of course, if you guys want to send us gifts, donations, letters, questions, you can at this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. Really appreciate all the content. Of course, follow us on BitChute. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us on, TikTok. You have TikTok, of course. And any other questions you have, please leave in the comments below. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off. Have a good Wednesday, and I'm not reviewing ponies, and I'm not reviewing hentai. Bye.